Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to show you how I take care of this mess and create some organization and a different closet system for my girls. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. So watch me speed clean and get this thing cleaned out. We just moved into the new house, so we still have some items that need to be cleared out and organized properly. Well, actually, most of our clothing items need to be organized properly, but this closet had to be changed. All there was this one bar for hanging, and that was not cutting it. There's also one on the other side. So here is where we started to hang Raven's items, which were shorter so we could still have access to the attic door. So I'm just cleaning out the floor here and getting all of that stuff out and clearing out this area so that I can see. So everything down here is just random, y'all. Like, we cannot keep the room clean because there is no clear organization, and I can't expect them to keep their room clean if there's not a place for everything. So I really can't, be too upset because they don't have a designated spot for everything, but oh boy, that is about to change. So all I'm doing here is cleaning up the floor. I feel like a clean, empty space is great for my thought process because now I can really see what I'm working with, and now I feel like I can think. The dresser's not gonna stay here. This is a dresser the girls already had. So I'm actually gonna start to take down some of the anchors that are holding this shelf in place. And let me tell you, it was in there. There are wall anchors and screws in every single one of these little clips. Some of them are open, but look at that. I had to get my pliers and yank those things out. So I started to twist and pull. By the time I finally got this thing down, there were still some in the wall, but I was able to get the ones that clipped it off. One side down, one side to go. I'm gonna do the same thing on this other side by the attic door, and then I'm gonna fill in these holes and then let it dry and then sand these holes because the drywall anchors have caused some huge holes in the wall here. So I'm gonna take the rest of these out, get these and get the screws on the floor cleared out, move this out, and then go from there. The amount of repairing I had to do with these holes from these wall anchors was massive, but I was able to get it done and get that wire shelf out of there and went on to my garage to start to prep the wood pieces for my shelf support. The smaller shelves that are actually going to be on the side where the attic door is, I'm making those out of scrap plywood, and I really didn't mind that it wasn't newer, nicer wood because I'm actually going to be covering those, and I'll show you that in a video that's going to be coming up soon. But I just was able to save some money here by using some scrap plywood that I already had, and I just measured it out and cut it from my miter saw and just flipped it over to make sure that I cut through the entire piece. And this is just an idea of how the shelf's going to be supported. So I'm just going to get my wooden dowels ready. I'm going to use these as what I'm going to hang the girls' clothes on, and these are actually very inexpensive. Got these from Lowe's. So I'm gonna go 78.5 with the actual cut, which is gonna leave me with a little bit left. So I got my measurement from the previous wire shelving that was in there, as well as a measurement that I took on the inside of the closet. I used one dowel to guide my cut for the second wooden dowel, and that was it. So this board is a 1x8 by 7.5, no, I'm sorry, 7 3/4. Which is fine for kids' shoes as far as shoe storage for the girls to get those shoes off of the floor. I'm gonna cut this one down into 2 feet, and I should get 4, of course, out of these if I do it right. So I'm gonna cut 2 feet pieces out of this board. So I got my 4 pieces, and I'm also going to now start to cut this 1x piece of wood, and that is actually what's going to support the shelves along with that other smaller piece. And these are my 4 cross pieces for those shelves by the attic door. Got these, got my 3 3/4 inch pieces and my shelves. I'm gonna finish up with ripping down the plywood and go get those sanded. Y'all, I have to sand and paint all of this wood. All of it, like. So I went ahead and added in my wall anchors first, and then I put the brackets in, and then I added my wood that I just cut to those brackets, and they're secured to the wall for shoe storage. So this is another option for storing shoes for the girls. And these are those small shelves that I custom created for this area. I ripped down the plywood to make it fit, but if you're not comfortable doing that, it's optional. This is just something special for my girls, and I'll show you why in a future video. So now moving on to the wooden dowels that are going to be used as my hanging rod. So I installed this second row, which is actually sitting a bit back, and I wanted the first row at the very top to come forward just a little bit so that the clothes would overlap. So I kind of eyeballed, honestly guys, where the center was, and I drilled a small hole to get the wall anchor prepared, and then I'm just gonna semi screw this in, use my level to make sure that it's leveled before I screw anything in permanently. The pole level and secured here so that I can attach them on either side. So I'm gonna attach it here and over there. So another very inexpensive item, got these from Lowe's for just a couple of bucks, and they fit perfectly with the wooden dowels. I was excited with the way that that turned out, but that yellow had to go, guys. So I actually painted the entire closet white, and that cabinet right there came from out of my half bath, so I took it from downstairs and brought it in the girls' closet. The wooden dowels had to be painted one more time because there were some spots that weren't quite white, but I'm loving the way that the wooden rods came out. Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to do at the bottom under these 2 hanging bars as far as some additional school storage in a very specific area that the girls are going to use for their items for school, and that way we can stay organized in the morning. And this project actually included some more leftover wood and some scrap wooden dowel pieces that I had. So I used this one that I already made as a guide for the length of how to cut my wood, and I'm going to cut the larger wooden dowel pieces down 3 inches, and I'm going to attach those exactly the same way that I attached the smaller wooden dowel pieces to that 1x4 board. I take it over to my miter saw and I make a quick cut on the miter saw, like I said, using the other as a guide. I measure out 3 inches and cut 2 3-inch pieces. This was very quick and very easy. Overnight, I went ahead and painted those and let those dry. I attached the wooden pieces to the other 1x4 with screws. At this point, I'm exhausted, so I call it a night.
DIY at its best.
Kids came in here 15 times.
They left their mommy.
Oh my God.
Good morning. Welcome to 2020.
By the time I finally got up, my wood was obviously dry and everything was ready to go. So now I'm going to work on the bottom portion of the closet, but I got these little racks from Dollar Tree. You heard me, Dollar Tree. And these are actually some scrap trim pieces from my she shed remodel. I got me some more wall anchors because I'm going to anchor everything to that drywall. So all I do here is eyeball again the center, make a small hole, getting ready to attach the drywall anchor. So my trick to finding the drywall anchor is to put the screw just about halfway through and slide it against the wall, and then once it meets the drywall anchor, it kind of sits inside of it, if that makes sense. Again, like I said, before I screw anything in all the way flush to the wall, I make sure that it is level. So I leave just a little bit of the screw out so that I can still move the board before I secure it to the wall. And I'm gonna repeat the same step on the ends. And I do mess up here where you see 2 holes, but that was easy to repair. But in the end, I got some drywall anchors on both sides and I was able to secure this board to the wall. I repeat the same step for this shorter piece at the top. Go ahead in with my drywall anchor. I do the same little trick with my screw, work on it to get it leveled, and then I add in these little racks that I got from Dollar Tree for obviously $1. Secure 2 of them to the top, and then I secure the last 4 at the very bottom. And I have to say, this was such a cool find at Dollar Tree. Here are my boards that I made out of the wooden dowels. Now here's a look at before with everything in here all over the place, and here's our after. Before, we had clothes all over the floor, hung up everywhere and disorganized. Now I have a clear space and a clear idea of where I want things to go. Before, we just kind of put everything in here, moving into the new house so fast. But now my girls will have a designated place to hang up their clothes, to put their shoes. They'll have storage, and eventually I'm gonna get in here and come up with a system to hang up their clothes and organize all of their little items. This closet was made just for them, and I'm telling you, I am a beginner. I was able to take this space using a dresser that they already had, a scrap piece of wood, and these silver hangings that came from the dollar store as well. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do with this space and how we use every single storage piece in here. I hope this video was helpful and maybe inspired you. Please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.